Hey y'all, it's me, V. Welcome back to Ashes to Ashe, the channel where I discuss how Black folks can use our power to transcend and to liberate ourselves through the lens of decolonization, afro-pessimism, radical spiritual traditions, Black liberation theology, and challenging the status quo. Check the links in my bio for my Substack, my Letterboxd, my TikTok, my Instagram to schedule a tarot reading with me to support my work through Venmo or Cashapp. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to hearing your feedback, thoughts in the comment section below. Today's video is going to be a little different. So as I'm sure you've heard, quite a bit of shit is going down in this godforsaken country. The president, who I'm going to refer to as, from, moving forward, as Cheeto Satan, first had the Venezuelan president, dictator, Nicolas Maduro, kidnapped and brought to Manhattan to stand trial for drug trafficking and weapons charges, because DK, it's Maduro's fault that people are, that fentanyl's flooding into communities and folks are using, overdosing, and dying. The redacted Epstein files, poorly redacted, might I add. Epstein files were released, I want to say, New Year's Eve. They definitely include the current president, and he is allegedly in diapers. Cheeto Satan is also threatening, whether by purchasing or military force, to acquire Greenland from Denmark, who should be an autonomous nation altogether. They should just be, right? Okay. By any means necessary. And if he were to move forward with military intervention, that would potentially, very much likely, dissolve NATO and potentially lay the groundwork for World War III. So there's that. As if skirting multiple felonies, trying to start international conflicts weren't enough, he's also trying to, Goma City say, stir civil discord in an attempt to implement martial law, so that he doesn't have to stop being president ever. The slave patrol is back. I don't know if y'all heard, but ICE is out and about. They recently took the life of a Black man, Keith Porter Jr., on New Year's Eve, who, if you're like me, you did not hear really anything about until too late. So took the life of Renee Good, a white woman who was protesting ICE, whose name you most definitely heard of, because it was international news within 48 hours. No thanks to, though I know they thought that they were doing something, white folks appropriating, colonizing the term "say her name," or the phrase, the call to action "say her name," which was created by Black folks, specifically to bring attention to the murder of Black women by police officers, Black women that have been the victims of police brutality, which often is overlooked and ignored because of misogynoir. Currently, and when I say we, I mean the United States, as a American, are undergoing a fascist unraveling, and if you ask me, a narcissistic collapse. I could say that all this is occurring, like everybody else, because of Cheeto Satan's narcissism, because of white supremacy, because of fascism, his desire to escape federal prosecution and a RICO charge, which is the original reason that he ran for office in the first place. And again, his desire to force any conditions that would require or justify him enacting martial law so that he can remain in power as long as possible. I could say this is all of that, because it is, but most unfortunately, this is the chicken coming home to roost. This is what the fish rots at the head looks like. But white Americans are the only ones who seem surprised. While Black Americans have been warning everybody and their mama of what was going to happen if Trump got elected, despite us holding a mirror up to America's face for centuries. We have been gaslit, we have been ignored, we have been ridiculed, we have been blamed, we have been mocked, we have been told that we're playing the race card, that we need to get over slavery, that it's not that deep. And most insultingly of all, that this country, America, right, is a great nation that was founded upon the principles of equality, of justice, of democracy, where anyone and everyone can come to make their dreams come true, to follow the American dream. Standard scapegoat shit, right? We have been telling y'all about yourselves, and y'all have refused to listen no matter how we say it. Y'all, and I mean non-black and specifically white Americans, were shocked, horrified when Renee Good was murdered by ICE. Y'all were shocked when he was elected. Y'all were shocked when he orchestrated and encouraged January 6th. Shocked when he was reelected, especially against a black South Asian woman that nobody voted for and shouldn't have been the presidential candidate for the Democratic Party in the first place. Comes, right, epigenetics. Epigenetics is a field of study that essentially explores how environments influence and changes our genes, how those genes can be passed down generationally. I'm sure many of y'all have heard of post-traumatic slave syndrome, which is a theory by Dr. George Gry that basically explores the impact of the traumas of chattel slavery, of American apartheid, or Jim Crow, as they say, which is a slur they're having everybody say for free, and systemic anti-blackness has had, the effects that those systems have had, and those cultural dynamics have had on black Americans, on generation after generation after generation of black Americans. And while I'm sure somebody watching this, right, can envision in this moment what that looks like when as it pertains to black Americans, no one ever seems, however, to want to talk about the epigenetics of white Americans, of American society, whiteness specifically, at whiteness as a political ideology, whiteness as a political identity, to be specific. We don't ever seem to really have serious conversations about what epigenetics looks like in white Americans. This is why Americans pretend to be shocked that Donald Trump was elected twice. They refuse to acknowledge that he is the single most accurate representation of American culture, values, and identity. The single most American president we've ever had. This is why y'all love to wax poetic about America being a democracy without ever acknowledging that the American democracy that you love so much is not even a true direct democracy, but is foundationally based on the 3/4 compromise that black folks, enslaved black folks, are 3/4 of human beings, aka the Electoral College, the basis of our democracy. This is why, y'all love to compare ICE to the Gestapo and Nazi Germany instead of acknowledging, right, that Hitler's fascist Nazi regime got copied and pasted from American society. While y'all act shocked and horrified that a federal agent could end somebody's life and get away with it because it's not supposed to happen to y'all. It's supposed to happen to us, but it's not supposed to happen to y'all. And the sick thing about it is y'all are right. That is the foundation, and the Marimba Ani in Yoruba talks about the cultural matrix. The cultural matrix of this country is that it is only supposed to happen to us, and when it happens to y'all, it is a problem. Y'all are right. The issue is when we want to talk about why that is, it's crickets. We doing too much now. This behavior is the epitome of narcissism, the epitome of cultural psychosis, the epitome of self-denial. White Americans at large have been denying themselves of their true identity for centuries on centuries on centuries. As someone that has always longed to understand the right foundational, the spiritual, the cultural root causes of this disease that plagues y'all, not us. You project it onto us, but it's not ours, right? Of anti-blackness, of white supremacy, that you've projected onto the global south. The answer is epigenetics. This is white America, and again, whiteness as a political identity, whiteness as an ideology. This is y'all's generational legacy. the behavioral dispositions, the logic and the rationale, the inhumane drive that compelled your ancestors to kidnap people from their homes, to eat them, to watch public executions, whether in Europe of heretics or in the South with lynchings, is the same that propels you, if not to commit the crimes, compel you to co-sign them passively and rationalize them until it comes knocking at your doorstep. It's the same. It's so easy to speak about the psychology of Black folks, to point the finger at us and to wonder why our communities look like this, and to wonder why we're stuck in the ghetto, without ever acknowledging that a people separated from their families, their culture, their heritage, who had their own legacies, their own national identities ripped out from underneath them. Why wouldn't they struggle to find unity, self-determination? All while ignoring that the ghettos that y'all look down upon us with disdain. You forget that the word ghetto, when used in Nazi Germany, was a place that they sent folks before their extermination. You forget that those folks were inspired by y'all's great-grandparents. Same brutality, force, inhumanity, white supremacy, anti-blackness that y'all's grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents left you as a legacy is the same one that you refuse to acknowledge when you see it laid plain and bare in front of your face in the behavior of this administration, in the behavior of these federal agents, in the behavior of the cops, in the behavior of the Democrats, in the behavior of the Congress who sit by and do nothing. How do you think folks got away with lynchings in the first place? This is y'all's legacy. This is the generational gift you were left that runs through your veins. The problem is that instead of facing yourselves, committing yourself to acknowledging it, committing yourself to fully unlearning it, to eradicating it interpersonally, personally and culturally, you will do anything but face yourselves, because you would rather believe that you're the good ones, even though in your great-great-granddaddy's time, a good one didn't do the lynching, but he sure as hell didn't stop it either. This is y'all's fight. This is y'all's legacy. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, this is a lifelong, centuries-long battle with yourselves. And as this country unravels and slides further and further into the destiny that it carved out for itself, it should probably take a look in the mirror. Thank you for watching. As always, be well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.